Hello and welcome to a Let's Build. Now guys, this is my Clarence project. I haven't been on it for a good while and I know Jeff doesn't live next door, but it's one of the only houses I could find apart from the guy that lives in a caravan slash trailer sort of hut. So guys, I'm going to build this Jeff's house and I'm not sure how it's going to turn out because we haven't got the hill because it seems to sort of drop off and the perception's really sort of odd on the only picture that seems to be available. I've managed to find one other which explained to me that it's not a peak on the side of the house. So anyway, I'm just going to get straight into it. I'm going to land over about where my Clarence is here, and I'm just going to drag 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and that is with my clay. And I'm thinking, is that long enough? I'm hoping so. So we come round to the front and we're going to place an extra 1 and then we're going to leave a space of 3 and then 1, 2. I'm going to drag that round 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, but we're going to do our best with it. So we're going to chuck in our brown door, 1, 2 layer, third layer, there's the fourth, and our fifth. And we're just going to chuck in that glass right there. Then we're going to grab our frame, which I'm going to use dark oak. Now, I wasn't sure what to use for material wise, but I've stuck with this just purely because I could take off part of the door, but half a block, because we are adding a block by having this grey barrier around. So we've got sort of our door there. We can just take this so we don't forget. We chuck a tripwire hook on just to signify the door there. So we're going to grab our white wall and we're going to start dragging this up. Now there's no windows down this side and I'm not 100% sure that I don't want to go up, make this sort of like a length of 20. I'm still not too sure because I know I'm going to lose 4 when we swing around that corner. Then we're going to lose at least another 2. I'm trying to look from perception wise and I think it's going to be 2 blocks and then another 2 blocks. So 4, 6, 8 blocks off of 18 will leave 10. Hopefully that will be wide enough for a garage or deep enough. So we'll go with the 18 for now and we'll work on the back as we get there. So we're going to add one more row of our white wall. I think I'm going to start doing my roof from here. Now, I was umming and ahhing with this because the picture shows a lot of depth and it seems to be a lot higher, but then I realised that it's actually on a hill as well and it's trying to sort of compensate for the hill where it drops off the back. So I'm going to try and go with it the best I can and we're just going to work around it. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Want our white wall over the top. I want to come to our glass, and we want to go 1, 2, 3, and then if we go for it is wider than the door, so we want 4, and we chuck on our white wall there. We will be adding a frame to this as well, so like that. And then we're going to go one more, but we're going to lose the half a frame when we put our frame on, like that. And we're just going to... Ooh, not for a minute, buddy. Not yet, buddy. So we're going to layer all the way around our window with our dark planks. So we end up with that. And I'm now wondering, is that actually tall enough? So I think we will go up to the top of this window there. I'm actually wondering, I think we're going to shorten that to 3 wide, just purely because it doesn't. Before we take out the window, we just check it out. Ooh, like that. Yeah, I think that actually looks more like it there. So we'll leave it at the 3 wide. So we start like that. And we're going to have to add an extra one to work off with our roof. Which, this is where it gets weird, because I'm not sure if I've gone too deep with the 4. Because of the roof needing to go on as well. So we're going to use a roof like that for now. And I'm just going to leave it like that for now. And then we're going to start working our way on this one, which will then be another length up. I didn't really want this wall getting this high. So we're just going to do that. And we'll drag it all the way across. Now I'm hoping this is going to sort of fall into itself to a point. Because the roof is so steep, we can't use slabs. And it's forever changing shape, and we need to knock out the middle 6 on here. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it should be, these 3 should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 there. And we're just going to take that up an extra notch like that. Chuck in our glass just to signify we are going to be back there with our build in a moment. I'm going to try and take this back. And this is where I'm a little bit unsure of whether we need to drop a little bit more. Let me just check on these sides as we go a little bit further up. We'll just build it up as high as it's gonna go. Check it out, because I think it's gonna be way too high. I think we're gonna have to change the slabs, which is really annoying. Although I don't know. Actually, we might be alright. Let's just take it up a notch. Oh. Bearing in mind, we still need to really come off. Get a bit of distance from it. In fact, I know what, we'll work our way around this side now. We'll go 1, 2. So you want to lose an extra 2 on this side. Build this side up. And we know it's going to be getting taller there as well. And we're going to start building across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 second. 1, 2, 3. And we want this window higher anyway, so it's going to have to be up on this level, which is really annoying if you want to do an inside. And we want it literally over this side, so I don't want to go filling in too much. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's going to have to be a 3 wide window. I think really we could chuck in the panes on this one. Oh, we drop that down to this layer. And we want to go up 1, 2. I want to go up the extra layer, but I don't want it to come at a cost that it starts making the build look a little bit dodgy. So I think we chuck this extra one in first, just to see how it. Yeah, I think that'll actually be better. I love you too, buddy. Now, sit down. So let me just grab some perception on this. I think if we add one more, even though it is sort of making it a little bit bigger than I really wanted it, we'll drag this back then, just this extra block like that. Oh. And then make our room for our garage. Sorry about the noise, guys. Very excitable son around at the moment. We're going to come out with our frame. And It's actually a different colour. I'm going to try and look. Bear with me while I just look at a different picture, just to. I think it is actually a different colour, which is really annoying. Um, Now, give me 1 second, guys. I'm just going to take the boy upstairs a minute. Oh, sorry about that. Excitable kids around. So we're gonna need that layer. This one is just really for us to put a frame in front of, and I'm wondering what color I can go with, because I want something a little bit more. I think it's gonna have to be the birch, which is a little bit annoying. Oh, actually, we go with oak because we don't want it to sort of come up too much. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. We want the 5, but I'm wondering if I wanna. I think I want to use a stair to go up at sort of an angle. God, my stairs are warming me up, man. Oh, wrong way. And I'm wondering if I've gone a bit too much. Do I want to go the stair on top? Let's just take it over. 1, 2, 3. With the extra one, that'll be 4. That'll be 5. Don't really want to be going much more than 6, so we chuck a stair on the end. So we've then got our, I think it should be 7 wide, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it'll be 6 wide. The 7th one will be on this one. It is a bit smaller than I would normally do my garages. Oh, I'm not liking that colour. Do you know what? I think I'm just going to have to keep it the same frame as the windows. Even though it's not exactly accurate to the picture, I'm going to use it like that. It's just purely really because I prefer to keep it the same colour. Oh. And then we use our stair. So like that, stair on the end. So exactly the same, but just using the darker frame, just purely because I want it to tie into the build. Like that way. And we're only going to need the one more of a layer to the side, and that'll be the side of the house then. And I really do need another picture really to show me whether it all sort of links together. At the moment I'm looking at this tiny thumbnail and I'm blowing it up and it's all pixelated. So I'm pretty sure this side of the house will link up straight to that side, just one straight wall. Or at least that's how our build's going to turn out on this one. And obviously I have no idea where back doors and the back windows will go, because only being 2 pictures has made it a little bit difficult. If it wasn't for the fact I found the second picture, I wouldn't have realised that this actually had a window in the side, and it went up like this. It was, this is going to have to be slabs. It's so annoying, because we're going to have to use like a slab in the corner on all of these layers. So I'm going to check it out first, just really because I don't want to just shoot up the side. If we do it like that, let's see how high this actually goes. What am I doing? There we go. That one can go. And then with the extra one on the top, it'll be like that. Yeah, and there's more chance of this then sort of folding in on itself. So we're going to have to stick with the slabs on that. I hate using the slabs to a point. I hate using stairs more than the slabs, to be honest, but on this particular build we're going to have to use the slabs, I'm afraid. But it will turn out much better for it. What an idiot. Oop. Right, now let's carry on our slabs. Now, the depth on this house is pretty much literally where I've got to on this side. This is where everything, perception-wise, has had to be made from. And from obviously this window, this is going to have to be built up an extra 1, 2, 3. And wondering if that's a little too wide. Because of the way the picture is, there's no real way of knowing. I don't see a windowsill, but then again it is very blocky. So I think we're going to have to stick to that. I'm wondering if I would prefer to shorten the window. I think 2 would be too short anyway, so we're going to have to stick to that. We'll just do it like that. And obviously we're going to have to pull this one back, 1, 2. So it'll be 1, 2, 3. Start working out where our placement's going to be. As to where we're going to start meeting our roof. Really hope that we don't go over the top. Ooh. We're going to have to go up an extra layer. When it ain't the kid, it's the cat. Now the cat's having a good go. Right, we want this one up on that layer, this one out of this layer. There we go, like that. So now I'm wondering, is the slab going to be too low compared to the stairs, which is it is an annoyance, but that has really annoyed me now. Because the only way this is going to fall in is with the stairs. Oh well. Stairs it isn't. And we're going to shave off this one and we'll take it down to that layer so it actually starts falling in a lot quicker, just to make up for the excess space that the stairs are going to take up. So we start raising up quicker. Window can be dropped down 1 level. This can go. And then hopefully our stairs are going to pull in much quicker to the build. I know, man, I really didn't want the stairs, but gone back on myself now, but unfortunate as it is, it has to be done. Man, can you hear this cat in the background? It's doing my head in, and now the kid's coming back for another go. So there we go, we're making our way up now. And that will be our last one there. So we can start pulling this one back into the build. And really, I think I should have gone for this one, just to pull it in much quicker. man, I'm gonna have to let this cat out in a sec. And then at worst scenario, we may have to switch over to a slab, depending on how much room we've got here. We've got 1, 2. Let's just have a quick check. My god, this cat is taking a mick. Like so. So guys, I know it's a boring process doing a roof. It is annoying, but unfortunately it does have to be done. There's our last one. So just pull this one across. And look at that. Perfectly. Who would have thought stairs would have win? There we go. I think we've now found our backspace of the building. So now it's just a case of pulling this up. Oh god, I'm gonna have to let this cat out a sec. I'm sorry. There we go. So, bit of quiet while we do it now. So let's work it out. I've now got a switch picture, work out where my fronts are to the back, and this is gonna have to all come up. So we're gonna have to work it out from this window now. We'll raise this up one more layer. Don't particularly want it to, but I think it's for the best. Take this up. The roof on the garage will stop at this level. And funny enough, this is the first build I've come across where the roof is actually flat, which is kind of weird. And obviously, because this build has been done on flat land, we don't have the hill at the back. And obviously I haven't accounted for doors as I'm running this across. I'm just really just making sure. We're just going to have to guess on a couple of windows for the back. I know there's a patio area. Oh, as you look to the back, it's on the right hand side, so where the arch roof is. But I know it's also looking over a hill. So if we pull this to there, we know the garage is this part. Or at least that part anyway. So we know we can start roofing this off. It's kind of weird because it's the first build that you see that it kind of wants a block outwards. And it's kind of big enough to be a whole block, which is kind of weird. I think we're going to have to switch over to a full block. And the whole roof is just going to have to be like this around the garage part. Because of the perception of the picture, I can't be sure that this roof shouldn't be the same size as the next part of the build. The next sort of divide in the building. Which is a bit of a pain because it means I could go wrong. I could be wrong for not connecting this roof to the next part. But I'm gonna try sort of cross-referencing between another picture now just to see, because it is a tiny detail but it could make the difference. So let me switch over to my other. While we're here, we may as well chuck this brown stained clay on the inside of this garage. Just get that finished off. And obviously a tripwire hook just in the middle. What have I done here? There we go. We just need a tripwire hook just in the middle. So we've got a garage. We now just basically want to start building this up and our next part up, because without the picture I can't tell. I'm trying to look between two pictures now whether how this back piece actually falls in on itself. So I think the best thing for me to do is take this roof up, and we'll keep building it up until we meet the next one. I do want to put in some daylight sensors on this roof to signify the little details on this. But obviously we're going to have to then put full block down. And once we put down them full blocks, now let me just take a quick look from the front. That's actually coming out really well. Stop it now. So basically, my worry is that is quite close to the front of the house. I can't work out from this picture whether this flat roof follows all the way around. Now I know this roof now does follow, and what happens is they use an extra block then afterwards. But I'm just not sure about this part, whether this should be a different level completely. So working on the theory. Sorry about the noise, guys. Oh, we have gone one up too far. So let me just take a moment just to. I think we're going to have to add an extra block. So I'm going to take this one up higher. Or I could shorten the window. Which I just don't think. It's not high enough. So we're going to have to add the extra block, which. I'm sorry, guys. I must be doing your head in. Keep adding blocks here and there, taking blocks down. But it is the only way to get it done right. So unfortunately this is going to have to come off, but if you're not doing the inside like me, luckily them blocks can just sit there. And then that is actually our layer there. So we end up with this layer like that. And obviously the same on the garage, but pulling out one further. And it's kind of weird because this is the only build I've ever used full block as a roof, unless I just couldn't find a colour suitable for, say, like my Simpsons builds or something like that. So I am sorry about a couple of mistakes, guys, but it is part of the process of just making sure it's done right in the first place. And basically what's going to happen is we get this roof over to here. We then sort of, it will do like a lap all the way around. And then you end up with then this part coming in. So I think it would then be this block would then come across and leave. So it will come over to there and it will leave like this little gap all the way around like that. Right, enough now, please. So basically, you get the idea. We got this. It's the only build I've ever done like it, so it is kind of weird. But we get this feeling that we've got this sort of like little barrier. So we've got one roof at this layer from the garage. Then we've got the next part of the roof that's going to be this layer. And I'm not sure whether to swap this over to slab so it goes up a little bit slower, raising up to the back of the house. Or, see, it actually does look like it levels up with the middle of the window, which is perfectly done. Which means this roof, it either does the same at the back, but it is just a guess, that this then like climbs down at the same height as this one did, or we carry this roof on and it comes around this part like that. So like this. So this would then come in on itself. We're just going to end up like that. Sorry about noise, guys. It's a very excitable boy. It is. Oh, I really hope I don't have to take another second break a minute just to take him back upstairs because you're not listening. No, you're not. So we're just going to drag this back up. See, I get the feeling there should be like like an outside entrance here, because there is like a fenced compartment at the back. Oh. And what I don't want to do is just brick it all in. We'll have to put in some windows at the back, but they're all going to be guesses. There's nothing here that I can say should be definitely here on this back end. All down the side there's no windows, just wires and like a tap. And then from here, it's like it's all on props. It should be hanging over the side of a hill. Guys, I am going to take him back upstairs in a minute because I can't think straight at the moment. So let's drag this one across. So like that. And I think we'll do it one further into it. We'll pull this one all the way across. And then we got this roof that will then come to there. Now we'd love in a way to do this arch at the back. But when you think about it, no house is going to do that. But then again, I've never seen a house do this with blocks on top. So we'll have a look in a moment. Let's just get this finished off. And then we can get onto the front garden. Oh. Right guys, I'm going to finish this roof. I'm just going to jump over to this next one here, just finish this off quickly, and then I'm going to run him upstairs so I can think straight and actually think about what I'm doing. And then we'll just have a quick look from the front just to make sure it's looking exactly how it should be. Oh, how did I forget about that? So we want that, and we want some glass in there. So like that. I'm wondering whether I want to have a bit of that roof hanging off a side. I don't think I do for now. So it is like the first build I've ever done with these stairs like that, like really an arch on the end. But, I don't know, I think it's turned out alright. I think what we're going to do though is definitely put stairs on the back of these just to neaten it up. Make it look a bit more of a broader, rather than just a flat edge hanging off the side. We'll put some depth on the side here as well. Oh. So for a house with no pictures, nothing that's actually clear online anyway, I think we've done pretty well. The only thing I can't say to you that's right is, like I say, I think this house is built on a hill because the back garden kind of has like a wooded area out here, but it's all on props, and obviously it doesn't show you too much of what you're doing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I think I'm going to just put in enough space here as if there would be a double door coming out at the back, and then I think we're going to try and have to keep to some sort of window pattern of these, but we'll drop it down to this level. So we'll do a 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and we want that an extra layer up as well. Okay buddy. Success. Didn't even have to kick him out of the room. How great was that? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 there. We wouldn't have none by the garage. And just to be different, I think we'd just put a single two lane window just here, and we take it up for the free, and then we can go ahead, fill this in, put some sort of finish to the house, and then work on just little details just to make it look more like what it should be. But considering there's literally only one picture and a little tiny thumbnail online, I think we've really done this well, in all fairness. So we're going to chuck this around. We use a slab on top just because it looks a bit ugly to use a full block all the way around. And then I think I'm going to chuck in some stained clay just around where I'm going to then line some glass up, just purely because I don't like the idea of the glass. And what I tend to do for like glass is I tend to leave either 2 spaces free, or I'll put 2 glass panes, so it creates like the idea that it's sort of like a door that's moving in and out. So like I quite like to do that, just to create the idea that there's actually a door there that's just waiting to be slid across. I know it seems a bit weird, but it works for me. And obviously we want to chuck some window sills across on here. Now we should have like we're going to grab some netherrack. Quiet please a minute. We're going to just grab some birch fence for now. We're just going to drag it up 1, 2, and then I'm going to use this grey box and a switch on it just to make it look, I don't know what it should actually be, but just like that. And then we're just going to run another one straight up to there. I don't know what it's, I'm guessing that should just actually be drainage by there, but we're just going to do it like that for now, just to signify something's there. And from a door, so it's going to have to be the 3. We're just going to do like that. And what do we want to put in there? I think we're just going to put in polished granite. Bit of a weird choice, but just signifying its way up to the top. We need some quick stone slab, and we're just going to lay that around the front door like that. Because obviously we've put the clay here, I mean we could go all the way around the doorstep. Personally I'd just rather go like that. We could do a quick post box. Definitely use a dark one for that. Really you can use any colour for this. I'm just going to stick to the colours I got. Ooh. Use my dark clay. Put on some item frame and a sign all the way around. So just chuck an item frame on the front. Signs around the sides. That'll do for me. And then we've just got this little drive. Oh, we need a cobblestone wall. We'll do the drive first, I think. So we've got the drive, which is going to be on this line. And then we've sort of got like a little curve coming around. And like a window in there, so it's going to have to be that curve. These 4, 3. So clay around there. Following that line. Ooh. We leave them ones free. In fact, we'll actually take it out one more just to... So we can leave literally them free. And then we'll run back up our drive. So let's just go ahead, chuck in let's Let's just chuck back in our dirt here, plant some long grass, or I don't know what sort of plants we want. Oh well, there's something nice, just a rose bush. I know it's not quite, no, in fact that's too nice. What do we got? It seems weird, but I'm quite inclined to go with like the jungle leaves, just purely because it is a jungle plant. But I'm thinking, I think we're just gonna have to use tall grass in that little space there, and sort of hope it looks a bit like what it should. So we're just gonna run this all the way up. So basically, as you already know, we're just gonna use our clay inside these parts. Now I'm not gonna sit here and do it all in front of you, because otherwise it's gonna do your head in. It's just another repeat of the roof. Obviously I need to put in my path as well. But right next to here we got this lane of grass. So we got 1, 2. In fact, we'll just leave 1. Now guys, obviously it probably should be on a hill, but what we're gonna do is we're just gonna build it down, and we're just gonna build it across. And that'll be our fence line then, which is dark, but it's not that dark. So we'll just use that, and that'll be the colours we'll use for our sort of border for the garden. There should be a tree at the back, but I'm not going to go through the work of doing the tree at the back at the moment. I'm not sure how the back should be, because like I say, the drop off on the road. The same sort of colour as we're using for this fence, we should be using to sort of do a bricked in area for our back garden. If anyone can point me to better pictures, I will have no problem sorting that back out for you. But obviously with no pictures, really only so much we could do. Really, we want to start that from there, I think. So like that. Really, we've only got bushes this side. There would be bushes down the right hand side, but I can't put them in because obviously I don't know where these characters should be within like Clarence or whatever. So we've just chucked them where we can fit them in. Obviously I'll just put the houses as I find different characters. We put them in like that. So really all we've got is we've got our fence here. Let's pull out a slab there. I want to grab some iron fence. No, wait, I think what will be better is if we use a bit of spruce fence, and we'll drop it down to about there, I think, and then chuck on that. That is the best I can do for these wind chimes. I know it looks a bit, it's not quite the way it should be, but there's nothing else I can really think of to do for them. Or lose them all together, because personally to me I don't think they look too great. And there's nothing else we can really put on there. I'm not going to leave them on there because I don't like the idea. I think it brings the build down a little bit. And I'm trying to look at what this is on top of the roof. We've got like a dish. Oh yeah, that was what I was thinking about. So we've got right in the middle. So let's say here. Let's find our daylight sensors. Now guys, I'm not sure if this is really going to work for me, so I wouldn't say follow me on what I'm doing yet. Just, I would say watch and then make for your own choice. Because basically all I can think to do is to put proper blocks down, and then for them 3 rows, literally add them in like that. Now it's not perfect, but if we lay them on stairs they're going to float, which isn't going to work. Or we end up with a flat piece in the middle of our build, which just really isn't going to look right. I'm really wondering whether to just leave them off completely. The other option is to drop it down, and I'm not really, like, I'm all up for putting details in, but when it makes your build look a little bit, I don't know, you sort of got to weigh up the options, what's best to leave and what's best to add, because you need it to look somewhat like it should. So let's go ahead, grab our cobble wall, just create like a couple of pipes coming out of the roof. Can we stick a pot on top? No, we can only do it in the world edit. That is terrible. And obviously, I don't know how we could go best about creating a dish, or whether really it's best to leave it. The only thing I can really think of is to put iron bars down as a stand, maybe a couple of slabs on top and a lever, just to sort of make it look like the middle. But I'm not going to put a dish on here, I don't think, and I think the main thing I'm going to concentrate on now is I'm going to grab an orange sandstone there, and I'm just going to make it look like we sort of planted ourselves. Nice little plant bush there. And really there is nothing else that we could really add in apart from the tree. Let's make sure that we've got the back to a tidy sort of nature there. Do we need to add an extra layer here, do we think? Let's have a quick look with the extra one on there. I don't know why it doesn't seem to look. But there we have it, guys. That is Jeff's house from Clarence, and I'm actually quite impressed. I was a little bit intimidated by this build because of the distances that it shows on the pictures, the way that like all of these levels are done, and obviously having to work all of this out off of 2 pictures just wasn't the easiest thing going around. I'm wondering if we've done a little bit too long, but no, I'm going to leave it like it is. That is, I mean, considering we've worked off 2 pictures, it's actually turned out rather well. I think what I do need to do though is add the extra layer of stairs, which is quite unusual because we wouldn't normally have to do it like this, but I'm thinking we need something on the edge, and I'll just layer it up on the middle. Oh no, we don't need it because we are literally at that level anyway. I'm just wondering if it's going to look better across this side. We'll have just a quick look now and take a quick decider. No, I think it's just going to have to stay kind of flat. I know it's kind of weird. It's weird because I've never built a house in this sort of style. It just doesn't seem... It seems kind of odd. But it actually looks quite a lot like the picture, so I'm quite impressed from that fact. Oh, did I finish the middle window up here? We didn't put a... But there we go. It is done. And I'm actually quite surprised. So guys, if you're not building next to a house and you actually know your Clarence layouts, I would suggest, you know, if you're going to be doing the bushes, make it a 3 wide, because they link. You don't have a gap in the middle, so literally you want to be working in and out of one block at a time. Just creating your bushes like that, just knock out the corners and sort of create it as if it's just continuously flowing like that, and just carry on the pattern as you go up the garden, and obviously knock that one out, and you just pretty much want to carry that pattern up all the way across the side. And once you put in that clay, and like you'll see in my picture as well once the video is uploaded, once all these little details are done and it's like kind of rendered into the outside, you start to end up with quite nice looking streets. So anyway guys, that is the end from me for now. I will be back with Fat Tony's building later, and also who else did I want to do? I want to try and get Quagmire's house out of the way tonight as well, so we can start working on these different projects. So anyway guys, that is enough from me, and I shall catch you soon. Thanks for watching guys.